strong, along with Pablo Alcina, who's filling in for meteorologist Jerry Steffen this morning. You said that things were heating up just a little bit. How hot are we thinking here?
Well, today's going to be the hottest day of the week. And it's because it's you and I together starting the show.
That's it.
Yeah, no, it's going to heat a little bit tonight, but then it's going to start going down the rest of the week. It's going to be gorgeous, and it's going to be dry, so we won't be that muggy or that humid at all.
Good. I don't want my pumpkins to rot. You know, when you
carve one out?
when you carve the pumpkins and then it goes back into the heat, it's not a good situation. So.
I've never carved a pumpkin in my life.
Pablo, no! Oh my gosh! Okay, next year you're coming over.
Yes.
All right. On to our top story this morning. A Temecula man is behind bars this morning after an hours-long standoff in Indio yesterday. It all stemmed from a vandalism call. 47-year-old Sean Allen Camba is being held on suspicion of multiple charges this morning at the John Benoit Detention Center, including vandalism, assault with a deadly weapon, and delaying a peace officer. According to police, just before 9 a.m. Monday, officers responded to a report of vandalism at the Riverside County District Attorney's Office in Indio. Investigators say a witness followed Camba to a second location where he continued damaging property before climbing onto the roof of the Sunline bus building. Multiple teams were involved, including SWAT officers who needed to use flashbangs, according to the Indio Police Department.
It required multiple officers at this location due to the road closures and setting up a perimeter around the building where he was located. Flashbangs were deployed, but not intended to hit the person. They were used more for a distraction while they made the approach to take him into custody.
Police say there was an active felony warrant for Camba as well. He's scheduled to make his first court appearance at the Indio courthouse on Wednesday to be formally charged on the accusations. Well, this morning, Indio is scheduled to hold its 2025 State of the City address. It's scheduled from 11 to 1 in the afternoon at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. This year's theme is Progress You Can See, with plans to highlight key city achievements, major project milestones, and outline the city's future. In focus will be Indio's 5-year plan, taking them to 2030. This evening, the Valley will gather to celebrate the life and legacy of local philanthropist Harold Matzner. The ceremony will take place at the McCallum Theater starting at 5 o'clock. A live stream will also be accessible online from Matzner's website. A reception will follow, giving friends, family members, and community leaders a chance to speak on Matzner's legacy right here in the desert. Guests are encouraged to arrive early if you're planning to attend. All attendees will go through security screenings and bag checks. Matzner was most well known here in the Valley as the former chairman of the Palm Springs International Film Society and has donated over $70 million to local nonprofits since 2000. Well, there are dozens of unsolved homicides in the Coachella Valley, and that's the focus of Olivia Sandusky's special report, which airs tonight. Olivia hears from victims' families and investigators of 3 unsolved murders. One of those murders is the death of Edward Snyder, a Palm Desert husband and father who went out for his nightly walk and was shot to death in his own neighborhood.
It's like, let's go drive where I know his route. You know, so this is where I went. I went Kentucky straight. Then I see all the cops, you know, like all the lights.
Most neighborhoods have some problems. We have some vandalism prior to all this. But is this a trend? Who's next? So, yeah, it was edgy for quite a while.
Well, who killed Edward Snyder and what did neighbors hear that night? They'll look into those details and the 2 other cases tonight around 9:30, right after the NBA's doubleheader tip-off. Coachella Valley cold cases only on NBC Palm Springs. And just a quick programming note, as I just mentioned, because of tonight's debut of the NBA on NBC, we'll have no 5 and 6 p.m. newscasts and no Rogan Report tonight. It all starts at 4:30 when the Houston Rockets take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then the Golden State Warriors play the Los Angeles Lakers right after that. We'll air at 5 p.m. newscast live on our social media pages. That's going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can get more information by logging on to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Let's take a live look here at our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs. Pablo, you mentioned things are heating up out there today.
And they will start cooling slowly after. On Wednesday, we have this low pressure system moving in that's going to bring in some nice cooler temperatures for Wednesday. But today it will be hot. Right now, though, gorgeous, 65 degrees, winds at just 8 miles an hour. Humidity higher than yesterday at 32%, but lots of dry air. If you see the dew points there, just 36 degrees. That's perfect. That's comfortable. You don't want to be up into the 50, 60 degrees. That's when you really feel muggy. 2 p.m., we should be up at around 92 degrees. Maybe 94 with low winds. It'll feel even hotter. Looking at the temperatures right now, we are at 65 degrees in Palm Springs, 58 at Yucca Valley, Banning at 60 degrees, 29 Palms at 60 degrees as well. The 3-day comfort air forecast today again should be the hottest day of the week. High temperatures may be reaching 94, 95 degrees. It's going to be toasty, but then that low pressure system is going to come in and the temperature is going to dip as much as 10 degrees, maybe even more in the mountains. 84 degrees on Wednesday. It's going to be a gorgeous, cool, dry air Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're going to go back up to the 90s. The rest of the week, you're going to see fluctuations between the high 80s and the low 90s. I'm Pablo Alsina. Back over to Mary.
All right, Pablo, thanks so much for that. Well, a Coachella Valley family is asking for prayers and support as their 14-year-old son continues to fight for his life after being hit by a drunk driver in La Quinta. Our Alondra Campos joins us live in studio with the story. Alondra.
That's right, Mary. Last week, we brought you the story of Liam Cantu, a La Quinta High School freshman student who was riding his bike home when he got hit by a drunk driver on the night of October 10th. He was rushed to Loma Linda Hospital where he has undergone brain surgery and has been fighting for his life ever since. His family has been by his side since the day of the crash, watching over their son. Liam Cantu forms part of the La Quinta High School baseball team, which has openly outpoured their support for their teammate on social media since the night of the crash. And we spoke to Liam's parents who tell us that a close family friend was at the scene shortly after Liam and another La Quinta student were hit. Although nearly 2 weeks have passed since that dreadful night, Liam's family says they remember receiving that haunting phone call like it was yesterday. Now, Liam's family says the support from teammates and strangers has been overwhelming, with some even taking meals to the hospital, where Liam's parents have spent every day since the night of that crash. Liam's baseball coaches and teammates are organizing a special ceremony later tonight to support Liam in his fight. Coming up, we'll have more details about Liam's fight for his life and the message his family hopes to bring to all drivers about the dangers of drunk driving. Live in studio, I'm Alondra Campos.
Thanks so much, Alondra. Our prayers go out to the family. Well, what was supposed to be the inaugural Pride Equality Walk set for this week has now been canceled for this year. The announcement was made on the PS Pride website over the weekend. Organizers say the cancellation is because of unexpected financial and logistical challenges. They did say they're fully committed to the event and are working toward a new launch and will announce a new date sometime next year. Palm Springs City Council members will vote on raising funding for Palm Springs Pride at this Wednesday's meeting. NBC Palm Springs' Brett Rosen spoke with Council member Jeffrey Bernstein ahead of that vote and has more on that story.
Palm Springs Pride is just 3.5 weeks away, an event that, according to the city, brings in more than 200,000 visitors. And now, in a recent request from the Greater Palm Springs Pride, there will be a city council meeting on Wednesday for increased funding from the city through 2027, an increase that will see a number of $125,000 jump to $350,000. We at NBC Palm Springs reached out to the city, and they said in a statement in part, quote, "This item is going before council to consider updating the agreement so that it aligns with the resources necessary to produce the weekend of festivities with the goal of ensuring a safe, enjoyable, and well-organized event for everyone." Palm Springs City Council member Jeffrey Bernstein says the vote for increased funding will be for safety.
This is for in-kind services of city efforts. So public safety, our fire, our police, security, barricades, things like that.
In the same statement from the city, it points out how Mayor Rhonda Hart is recused from the vote. This would be due to his ties, as he is the CEO of Greater Palm Springs Pride. When asked about whether or not there is a power dynamic with the mayor behind the organization that's asking for the increased funding, Bernstein says because of the revenue Pride brings in, it didn't matter who was the CEO behind the organization.
I don't think it's really an issue, and I think we can have this in discussion. But the truth is that if anyone were doing this event, I think the city would be equally concerned about the safety of our residents and our visitors.
When reaching out to the city clerk about the timeline of when the request was made and when it was brought to the public, they said in part, quote, all items on the agenda were posted and noticed to the public as usual on Thursday, October 16th at approximately 7:36 p.m., well within the 72 hours as required by state statute. End quote. Again, this vote for raise funds will be this Wednesday at Palm Springs City Hall. I'm Brett Rosen, NBC, Palm Springs.
It's time now for Where in the Valley, where we show you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley and you guess where it is. So let me show you that photo. Ooh, do you know where this is? You'll have a little time to think about it. We're going to reveal the special location at the end of our broadcast. I'll give you a small hint before we get there. Coming up next on your morning news, it's fast, it's fun, and it just might be your new favorite sport. I hit the court to try paddle, the world's fastest growing sport. That's next. And in your health today, we have more on how your sleep position may actually be preventing you from getting the rest you need. Let's head outside. Here's a live look at your Agua Caliente Casino camera in Rancho Mirage. A little traffic out there to start your Tuesday morning. We're back in the 90s today. Pablo Alsina will have more on your forecast straight ahead.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Well, it's fast, it's fun, and it's flying onto courts across the country. The sport is called paddle, and while it may look like tennis at first glance, it plays by a whole different set of rules. I hit the court at Parker Palm Springs to see what the buzz is all about. Take a look. It looks like tennis, but it's not. It's the fastest growing sport in the world, and this is one of 3 courts in the entire Coachella Valley here at the Parker Palm Springs. It's a combination of tennis and squash and a whole lot of chaos. And no one can quite figure out how to pronounce it. Padel, paddle, let's check it out. It's spelled P-A-D-E-L, but however you pronounce it, this sport is turning heads and breaking a sweat. Paddle has exploded across Europe and Latin America, and now it's bouncing into the U.S., glass walls and all. To figure it out, I got on the court with tennis and paddle pro Kyrwin Evans of Win Tennis and Paddle, who made it look way too easy.
You turn your body and point the racket like this. You point the tip of the racket at the glass. You're watching it hit the glass. Then as it comes forward, you follow the ball.
Okay. Sounds simple, right? Let's just say it takes a little getting used to. After a few reps, it was game on. Paddle is always played in doubles, no solos here. 4 people, 1 ball, 0 chill.
Is that okay?
Is there a squash? Is there a racquetball element? There is. The ball can bounce, hit the glass, and then you can play it before it bounces a second time, and it keeps the point going. So that is the allure to it. When the ball goes past you, now you've got a second chance.
Yep, in paddle, missing the ball isn't always the end because you can play it off the glass, which turns every rally into a fast-paced, full-body chess match. Paddle was born in 1969 in Acapulco, Mexico, when Enrique Corquera built a court in his backyard and surrounded it with walls. From there, it spread to Argentina and Spain and beyond. Now it's on track to become an Olympic sport by 2032.
All of the pros say padel. A lot of European countries have always said paddle. Some areas in France and some in other kind of European companies say padel.
Yes! It's just like tennis, but you use a thick, lightweight paddle. Same scoring. The court about a third smaller. The ball a little less air. You serve underhand, and if the ball hits the glass before hitting the ground, it's out. Oh, and there's one more thing. When is it a dead ball?
When it bounces twice.
The key to winning? Use the walls and use them well.
But if you can get the ball to hit the glass with the right amount of slice, it helps the ball stay low. If they can't get it before it bounces a second time, you win the point.
And if the ball flies out of the court, don't give up.
If the ball on your side has hit the back glass and has come out, and you've recognized that, and you've come somewhere in here, you just now have to hit it on that side of the net.
Any way you can.
Yeah, over or in here.
In 2019, there were just 20 to 30 courts in the United States. Today, nearly 1,000. By 2030, that number could hit 30,000. Here in the desert, Parker Palm Springs is ahead of the game with 2 of just 3 public courts in the valley. They're offering locals and guests a taste of the global craze.
It's fully transparent, so even the corners, with other courts, other Padel courts, there are often either metal or plastic elements that kind of block full court viewing, and that's not what we have here. You have full transparency for spectators and the players.
What about the learning curve? Is it a big learning curve when you first start?
So learning curve of tennis is like, learning curve of pickleball is like, learning curve of paddle is somewhere in between.
It's easy enough for beginners, but tough enough to keep you sweating. By the end of our match, I was finally starting to get the hang of it. And having a pro like Kerwin on my team definitely helped.
I clearly have a lot to learn. This game is full of strategy, speed, and a whole lot of surprises, and it's a great workout. If you like tennis and pickleball, this may in fact be your new obsession. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Mary Strong.
Well, if you're interested in giving paddle a try, you can book a court time at Parker Palm Springs by calling the spa. And for a list of upcoming clinics and tournaments happening around the valley, you can head to winpaddle.net. If you want to know what it costs to build one of these high-tech courts in your backyard, it's about $50K if you have an existing tennis court foundation and $100K if you're starting from scratch. If you'd like more information on the stories we're airing this morning in our broadcast, you can go to our new website, NBCPalmSprings.com. You're going to find our top stories right there on our homepage, and we've got a newsroom tab. You're going to find our stories and local events organized by date. We're going to head over to Pablo in the Weather Center for a look at what's ahead in your forecast today. Pablo, we definitely need to get a doubles game together.
I was just going to say, Mary and I challenge any other morning duo to a paddle match. Bring it on. Pablo Alsina, and coming up in weather, I'm going to tell you how hot it's going to get. And look at this gorgeous shot right here. The sun still hasn't come up, but we're still always smiling. NBC Palm Springs continues.
news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBC.
Pablo Alsina with your weather. The sun's slowly starting to come up. Look at that gorgeous shot of the Walter Clark cam in Rancho Mirage. Cars driving, sun's still not there. We don't see that much wind at the moment, and I don't expect that much wind today at all, around 10 miles an hour. But we are hotter than usual, usually a normal high of 89 degrees. Today, back up to 94. So last week, we were around 10 degrees cooler than normal. Now we're actually hotter than usual, nowhere near the record, 104 degrees set in 2003. But look at this, in 1949, it was just 39 degrees on today's date. Winds, 7 miles an hour in Palm Springs, just 3 miles an hour in Thousand Palms. Yucca Valley with winds of just 2 miles an hour. And look at Big Bear City, 0 miles per hour on their wind gusts at the moment. High temperatures you're going to see today, 29 Palms, high of 90. Palm Springs between 94 and 95. Palm Desert will see 95. Idlewild just 74. And even in Big Bear City with a high of 69, they were in the low 50s. 40s just a few days ago for highs. Now they're got a high of 69. But again, today will be the hottest day of the week. Low temperatures you can expect today. Palm Springs going to go back down to 65. Joshua Tree with a low of 59. I still haven't made it out to Joshua Tree since moving to Palm Springs. Thousand Palms, 67 degrees. Indio, it's going to have lows of 66 degrees. Now, if you're going to go for a walk, of course, stay watching our newscast coming up, this one and the next one. But then after that, go for a little walk. It's going to be gorgeous. 8 a.m., 69 degrees. It's going to be very dry, crisp air. 10 a.m., back up to 81. By noon, we should be in the high 80s, 90s around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Our 7-day full forecast, Tuesday being the hottest day, but look at Wednesday. It's going to drop 10 degrees to just 84 degrees, and then we're going to circle around the low 90s to the high 80s the rest of the week. It should be dry, crisp air. It's going to be nice, but yes, we are back in the 90s. I'm Pablo Alsina. Keep it here. You're watching NBC Palm Springs.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here. Impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
It's time now for Your Health Today, brought to you by Inland Empire Health Plan. The maker of Tylenol is pushing back on a proposed change to the product safety label. Ken Vu said the FDA should not change Tylenol's label to reflect possible connections between use during pregnancy and diagnosis of autism in children. The company stated the revisions would be arbitrary and contrary to law. The statement comes after President Donald Trump encouraged pregnant women to stop taking acetaminophen last month. Without evidence, Trump claimed a key ingredient of Tylenol is linked to autism. Currently, Tylenol safety labels instruct people who are pregnant or breastfeeding to ask a healthcare professional before use. Now, according to doctors and research, taking the pain reliever during pregnancy is still safe. It's a critical part of overall health, but 1 in 3 U.S. adults don't regularly get recommended amounts of uninterrupted sleep each night. That's according to the National Institutes of Health. And an expert says it may in part have something to do with the way you sleep. Mandy Gaither explains why your sleeping position matters.
It's a basic human need. Sleep helps restore the body, and not getting enough good quality sleep can actually make you sick.
We tend to develop chronic diseases.
Sleep neurologist Dr. Nancy Foldberry with Cleveland Clinic says your position in bed may affect whether you get a good night's sleep, especially if you have certain medical conditions.
Probably 30% of men, 10% of women in their middle-aged years have sleep apnea, and the prevalence of that increases as we get older.
Foldberry recommends sleeping on your side if you have obstructive sleep apnea or other chronic conditions like heart failure or arthritis. And if you have acid reflux, she says sleep on the left side. Not sleeping on your back can help keep airways clear.
I'm sure we can all resonate with the story of the loud snorer on their back and the bed partner does the elbow to get that person to roll over onto their side.
If you have chronic nasal congestion or have a deviated septum, Foldberry says side sleep is also recommended. If one side of your nose is more stuffy than the other, she says to sleep on the side that allows the blocked nostril to be upright. Sleeping with your head slightly elevated can also help.
I've got many patients who sleep much better on their right side than their left side, and it's not clear why, but you're aiming to sleep in the position that is going to make you feel the most refreshed.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
In La Quinta. Okay.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Welcome back on this Tuesday, October 21st. I'm Mary Strong. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. Weatherman Pablo Alsina has your forecast. He's filling in for Jerry Steffen this morning. But first, let's take a look at some of your top stories at this hour. Earlier this morning, we brought you the story of Liam Cantu, one of two teenagers who were riding their bikes home in La Quinta before they were hit by a drunk driver on the night of October 10th. Our Alondra Campos spoke with Liam's parents about the message they want the community to hear after this tragic incident.
That's right, Mary. As 14-year-old Liam continues his fight at Loma Linda Hospital, his parents say they hope this tragedy raises awareness about the devastating impacts of drunk driving. His family has been by his side since the day of the crash, watching over their son. Liam Cantu forms part of the La Quinta High School baseball team, which has openly outpoured their support for their teammate on social media since the night of the crash. We spoke to Liam's parents, who tell us that a close family friend was at the scene shortly after Liam and another La Quinta student were hit. Now they hope this tragic accident sends an important message to all drivers.
It's the worst phone call of my life. I wouldn't wish this pain on anybody, and we forgive the driver. He made a mistake. He's probably facing some demons as well. But I don't want this to happen to any other family, and we never thought it would happen to us. You know, our son's a great kid, and he doesn't deserve to be laying on that bed fighting for his life. He deserves to be getting ready to play for his baseball game tomorrow. If you're gonna drink, don't drive. Stay home. Drink out. Get a Uber. Get a hotel nearby. It's not worth the pain that we're feeling right now.
Liam's family says they are holding on to hope and will continue to fight alongside their son as he recovers from the accident. Tonight at 7, the La Quinta High School baseball team, coaches, and other community members will gather for a Words of Encouragement circle in La Quinta, all in support of Liam and his family. We'll bring you all those details in our midday newscast. Live in studio, I'm Alondra Campos.
And our thoughts and prayers go out to Liam and his family. Thanks so much for that, Alondra. Well, many Southern California Edison customers say they're fuming over a 13% rate increase on their monthly electric bill. The price hike went into effect on October 1st, but many customers say they weren't notified until just this weekend. Our digital reporter Thalia Hayden spoke with Valley residents about that rate hike.
Unbelievable. We pay so much now.
Did you know that on October 1st, Southern California raised your electric bill?
I did not know that, no.
Either by email or through one of the chats online yesterday.
They just told you, but then again, it went into effect October 1st, so they didn't even warn you.
No.
How do you feel about that?
Well, not good. They're up. I think everything's going up. Yeah, water going up, trash is going up.
My kids, I think they're adults. They have their own apartments. It's really hard.
So do you think if they would have notified people earlier, that would have made any difference?
It wouldn't have made any difference that we're going to have to pay it, but it would have made a difference so you could budget better.
What are you going to do, stop taking electricity. I mean, I think you got no choice.
Yeah, there is nothing I can do about it.
I guess we just have to pay it. I mean, I don't know what the alternative is to that. You know, we can write, we can go to a city council, we can go to government, but it doesn't look like it helps that much.
Right.
Well, life's like that. Roll with it.
I'm your digital reporter, Thalia Hayden, with NBC Palm Springs.
Well, we reached out to the California Public Utilities Commission, who says last month they approved roughly $4.4 billion less than Southern California Edison had requested. We reached out to SCE, and we're still waiting for a response. Well, speaking of our electric bill, you may have to run that AC for a little bit longer. We're back into the 90s. We're going to check in with Pablo in the Weather Center for a look at your forecast. Hi, Pablo.
Hi, Mary. I'm still waiting for a challenge from another station to take on Mary and I in paddle or in any sport. Mary, a pro athlete. I'm a pretty good athlete myself. We'll take anybody on. Temperatures right now 66 degrees in Palm Springs. Humidity at 30%, but absolutely no precipitation. Won't see any rain at all in this area. There might be some sprinkles, but that's in San Diego. But in the whole Southwest, pretty clear, the skies. 94 degrees, the temperatures that you're going to see high in the whole Southwest. Palm Springs at the hottest, even hotter than Phoenix. LA just 76 degrees. Inside where we're at right now, we are at 68 degrees in Desert Hot Springs. Palm Springs at 66. Look at Big Bear City, sweet 28 degrees, but they're going to heat up as well. Again, today should be the hottest day of the week. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 94 range for today on Tuesday as we look at our 3-day comfort air forecast. Tuesday, the hottest day, but look at this Wednesday with a low pressure system coming in, bringing in cool air. It's going to drop around 10 to 12 degrees, just 84 for the high on Wednesday. Can't wait for that. Thursday, we'll be back up into the 90s. For the 7-day forecast, you'll have to stick around and bring those challenges on other channels. We'll take on anybody. Back over to Mary.
All right, Pablo, I'm ready to go. Well, the government shutdown is now officially the second longest in American history, and there is no end in sight. Lawmakers can't agree on whether a stopgap spending plan should keep health care costs from rising. In fact, they can't even agree on whether to negotiate. Amy Kiley has more on that.
We need to end the shutdown.
At 21 days, the government shutdown is now tied for the second longest in U.S. history. Democrats say they want a funding bill that addresses Medicaid cuts and expiring Obamacare subsidies.
Tens of millions of Americans are about to experience dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles.
Republicans say they won't discuss that until Democrats pass their funding bill with no changes.
What exactly is there to negotiate?
The shutdown ties 130 years ago when congressional Republicans gave up about half the Medicare cuts they wanted in return for a balanced budget.
Newt Gingrich shut down the government in 1995 because he wanted Clinton to cut Medicare. Clinton wouldn't do it.
We didn't let the fighting stop the negotiating. We also didn't let the negotiating stop the fighting.
The longest shutdown ever remains the one during President Donald Trump's first term. It holds the record of 35 days after Democrats refused to pay for a border wall.
Whatever it takes. I mean, we're going to have a wall. He didn't get it. And when air traffic controllers started not showing up to work, the Republicans buckled on that.
Unions say this shutdown is hard on air traffic controllers, too. Pre-existing staff shortages have many working overtime now without pay.
You're allowing outside stress to work its way into the control room.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Meanwhile, as the government shutdown continues, President Trump has begun construction of his White House ballroom. Demolition of the East Wing began Monday, tearing out the walls and the windows. Once refurbished, the new East Wing will feature the 90,000 square foot ballroom and will be able to fit almost 1,000 people compared to now. They can only fit 200. The White House says the president and private donors will cover the estimated $250 million cost. But the renovations reverse an earlier Trump pledge not to touch the original building. The White House said it will be finished before Trump's term ends in January of 2029. Vice President J.D. Vance arrived in Israel today, joining efforts to hold the fragile Gaza ceasefire together after violent flare-ups. President Trump upping the pressure on Hamas to stick to the terms and disarm. The president again underscoring that would not include U.S. troops on the ground. Amazon's cloud services unit, AWS, was dealing with some technical issues Monday that caused widespread outages to many popular websites. AWS is a major provider of cloud hosting services that underpins much of the web and everyday online tools and platforms. Some of the sites impacted included Snapchat and Reddit, along with gaming platforms like Roblox and Fortnite. AWS reported on and off issues throughout the morning on Monday, but as of late yesterday afternoon, Amazon reported that most outages issues were resolved. Now let's take a look at your business headlines. Here's CNBC's Frank Holland.
Wall Street's pointed towards small losses at the opening bell following yesterday's rally that was largely fueled by Apple, which closed at a record high on the back of data showing sales of the iPhone 17 getting off to a strong start. The Dow jumping more than 500 points, while the S&P and the Nasdaq, they both gain more than 1%. Investors will be focusing on earnings today from the likes of Coca-Cola and Netflix. Google plans to let superfans test out the next Pixel smartphone ahead of its launch. Bloomberg reporting the company will select 15 people from its trusted tester program. They must sign a non-disclosure agreement and disguise the phone in a protective case. The Pixel superfans will then be able to provide feedback and help shape new phones that are in development. Spotify is rolling out a new feature to let users follow their favorite concert venues. It will give updates and details on upcoming shows, and you can filter them by genre. The platform will offer links to a venue's official ticket partner. Spotify says it currently tracks more than 20,000 locations around the world, from iconic arenas to independent clubs. With your CNBC Morning Business Report, I'm Frank Holland.
Well, earlier we showed you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley, and I told you I'd show you that photo again and give you one more hint before we reveal the location at the end of our broadcast. So let me show you that photo. And here's the hint. You can find this fountain in Palm Desert. Think about that. We'll tell you more about this location coming up later in our broadcast. Next on your morning news, the NBA is finally back on NBC. We'll have all the details of this upcoming season next. But first, let's head outside and take a live look at your Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage. Pablo is going to break down your full forecast for you straight ahead.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube.
I am Pablo Alsina. Let's look at your full weather forecast and look at this gorgeous shot of Indian Wells Golf Resort. Perfect day to play some golf. Yes, it's going to be hot, but the winds won't be strong, so they won't mess with your shot. And it'll be a dry heat, so get out there and shoot par. Highs of 94 degrees today. Normally we're at 89 degrees, so hotter than normal. After my first 2 weeks here, we were lower than normal. Now we're back up to actually higher than normal. Can keep it cool always, but nowhere near the record high of 104 degrees set in 2003. If you look at the hourly temps, it's going to start heating up quickly. So if you're going to go play golf now, because by 3 in the afternoon, we'll be at 94 degrees with the dew points at just 32. So it'll be comfortable, but still a little bit muggy out there, especially because of the heat and not much winds. Now 7 miles an hour in Palm Springs, just 3 mile per hour gusts in Thousand Palms. Banning with wind gusts of just 5 miles an hour. The wind gusts could pick up throughout the afternoons and nights, but right now very calm. The high temperatures you're going to see today, 94 degrees in Palm Springs, 95 at Palm Desert should be the hottest in the area. Banning coming in with a high of 86. Our friends in Indio at 93 degrees, so pretty hot throughout the day, but it's going to start going down. The lows you're going to see, Cabazon at 60 degrees, Palm Springs at 65, 29 Palms, they're going to see lows, 61 degrees, and just perfect night to go out and look at the stars. Should be a clear sky, gorgeous to see some stargazing. Our 7-day comfort air forecast, you'll notice Tuesday, the hottest day of the week, but then on Wednesday, going to drop around 10 degrees to just 84. And the rest of the week, we're in the 90s, gorgeous the rest of the week, high 80s, low 90s.
Coming up on today, we're going to count down to tonight's tip-off of the NBA season. The league making its long-awaited return to NBC and Peacock. Commissioner Adam Silver live in Studio 1A. And so will John Tesh for a historic live performance of Round Ball Rock this morning on Today. Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And
NBC Palm Springs Sports, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Well, the NBA returns home to NBC tonight to tip off the new season with back-to-back games. Mark Barger has a preview.
It's been less than 6 months since the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship. Tonight, they begin pursuit of 2 in a row.
It would suck to lose the NBA championship in 2026. So that's the new focus.
For the team, as well as their fans.
Ready to win another championship.
Former OKC star Kevin Durant and his Houston Rocket teammates provide the Thunder's opening night opposition.
You got to compartmentalize your distractions and be ready to compete when the ball goes up in the air, and there's always distractions every game.
The Warriors and Lakers are also eyeing the title. They tango in the Tuesday nightcap.
I love the Lakers. I'm rooting for them all day.
Fans across the NBA start the season with optimism, including Timberwolves faithful in Minnesota.
For us, expectations are high, so NBA Finals are bust for us. It's going to be a good year.
One that marks the NBA's return to NBC after 24 years.
Couldn't be more excited.
Basketball, to me, is just fun.
Fun that is about to begin. Mark Barker, NBC Entertainment.
And just a quick programming reminder, because of tonight's debut of the NBA on NBC, we will not have our 5 and 6 o'clock newscasts and no Rogan Report tonight as well. It all starts at 4:30 when the Houston Rockets take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then the Golden State Warriors play the Los Angeles Lakers right after that. We'll air our 5 p.m. newscast live on our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and our 6 o'clock. You can get more information by logging on to our website on NBCPalmSprings.com. Now let's take a look at your local sports headlines. Here is NBC Palm Springs sports reporter Caitlin Kelly.
Well, welcome back. It was a championship weekend for the Coachella Valley Scorpions pickleball team. The team traveled up to Seattle this weekend to compete in the National Pickleball League Championship Tournament. And they got all the way to the championship match against the hometown favorites and #1 nationally ranked Seattle Tsunami.
Championship point. Second time. Ooh, that's just that's it. Coachella Valley, the Scorpions are your 2025 National Pickleball League champions.
And with that killer ace, the Scorpions won the match and officially won the NPL title. The team was also awarded $50,000 for the victory. And in hockey news, the Coachella Valley Firebirds hit the ice yesterday against the Bakersfield Condors. The Firebirds would start hot and score 3 goals in the first period to go ahead early, but the Condors would come roaring back. Regulation gameplay would end in a 4-4 tie and send the game to overtime, where the Condors would score, handing the Firebirds a tough 5-4 loss. And in case you missed it, another episode of Firebirds Off the Ice aired yesterday. The show, which is, of course, hosted by our very own Tim O'Brien, gives Firebirds fans a chance to peek behind the scenes and see the interworkings of all things Firebirds. You can watch the last night's episode and all episodes on NBC Palm Springs website. Just look for the Off the Ice tab. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, Netflix is coming out with a new drama series called Kennedy. The upcoming show is based off the book JFK, Coming of Age in the American Century, 1917 through 1956. The story will explore the triumphs and tragedies of the Kennedy family. Netflix says the series will begin decades before John F. Kennedy occupied the White House. Season 1 will start in the 1930s to showcase the start of Joe and Rose Kennedy's life with their 9 children. The series will star actor Michael Fassbender as Joe Kennedy Sr. A release date has not yet been announced. Well, Ethan Hawke is back on the big screen this weekend in a role he waited years to be old enough to play. A songwriter legend on the night his professional life unravels. David Daniel takes a look.
For over 20 years, Hart and his partner Richard Rodgers created a string of hits.
I want 10 copies of that. Write me a check.
Such as My Funny Valentine, The Lady is a Tramp, and Blue Moon.
Blue Moon takes place on opening night of Oklahoma, which Rodgers wrote with Oscar Hammerstein II, not Lorenz Hart.
We write together for a quarter of a century, and the first show he writes with someone else is gonna be the biggest hit he ever had. Am I bitter? Larry? Yes.
I knew how lucky I was the whole time. When you have a character this complex, who's this smart and wise and self-destructive and silly and stupid.
Well, maybe audiences have changed. Well, they still love to laugh.
They want to laugh, but not in that way.
In what way?
In your way. They want to laugh, but they also want to cry a little. They want to feel. He possibly doesn't want to engage with Larry on that evening, but in another way he does, because he invites him over, and then you know, their history can't help but spill out, and the love and the resentment.
Elizabeth!
There's also a girl he adores who, of course, doesn't think of him that way.
She's a girl. See, I always thought that your interests went more towards my interests. So now you are going to analyze me? Thank you, Dr. Bacardi.
I like to think that, like, Eddie woke up that day knowing what his job was going to be that day. That he knew Larry was going to be there and that he would have to take care of Larry, and he was going to love doing it.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone.
Wise guy.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now let's take a live look outside of your Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. As Pablo mentioned, it's a good day to go out and hit par. It's going to be a beautiful day out there. I hope you can get out and enjoy a little time outside. We're going to be right back with a reveal of our Where in the Valley special location. Stay right here on NBC Palm Springs.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course,
It's time to reveal our special location for our broadcast. Did you guess where this is?
No.
You're still learning all the locations around town. Well, this is the Gardens on El Paseo in Palm Desert. It's a major shopping destination right here in the valley with premier shops and boutique stores as well as art galleries nearby. It's a really beautiful spot. They also have an annual concert series benefiting local charities. This will be the 28th annual series. It's starting January 17th of this coming year with a Jimmy Buffett tribute. And we're really proud to be the local media sponsors here on NBC Palm Springs. And if you go check out that fountain right now, you'll notice it's a little pink. I think it's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so that's really cool. And don't forget, all your NBA action starts right here on NBC tonight. We've got two back-to-back games at 4:30. The Houston Rockets take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then the Golden State Warriors play the Los Angeles Lakers right after that. Our 5 o'clock newscast will air on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Do you have a team?
I'm a Miami Heat guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're a Miami
I'm
guy.
Miami 305, baby.
Yeah, but you were in LA. You've got to be a little bit of a Lakers fan.
Well, I also lived in LA when I was 11. I went to elementary school one year, and so I was a huge Dodgers fan. So go
I'm a Dodgers
have
fan.
to win the World Series.
Yeah, my whole family's a big Dodgers fan. Well, go Lakers tonight. And thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to have more news coming your way on your midday news at 11, and we hope you go out and make it a great day today.